episode 41, y'all. And since Andrew is not here, this week we're talking about Metroid Prime and nothing else. As my new host for the show, we got N64 Josh from the Nintendo Powercast.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing?
Great to have you here. I guess you want to plug any of your stuff?
Plug any of my stuff. Well, like you said, I'm the host of the Nintendo Powercast. Run N64Josh.com. And yeah, I make a lot of content, a lot of video game content. So I'm glad to be here on the Nintendo Pals podcast, episode 42. Gonna be a good time.
41, right?
Oh, wow. I'm looking at Twitch and it's 41.
Yeah, we were mixed up the episode before starting this, so there's been a little confusion. Yeah, on Twitch it still says episode 42.
It does, yes.
Okay. I can't take this anymore, Micah.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
I thought you were gonna jump in earlier, so I was just like, I don't know where to go from here.
Surprise, everybody! I'm actually here. I faked it like Micah was gonna do the whole show by himself. I don't know how many of our community members we got with that, but welcome everybody. For those that don't know, my wife and I just got back from the hospital. We had a new baby. Oh, hang on. Surprise guest. Hey! There he is.
Oh, congrats.
So Micah Larson, right? You named him?
No. No. That was a no from my wife. No.
Is his name Link?
No. Just a little baby Arlo. That's
Just-
what we went with.
Just Bowser?
Just Bowser.
Yeah, middle name Bowser, right?
Arlo Doug Bowser. Yes. Yep. So thanks for all the congrats in the chat. Yes, so we are back and enjoying new parenting life. And he's been pretty easy so far. Yeah.
We'll see if it stays like that.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully he sleeps as good as he did at the hospital. Because I don't know. Josh, you've got kids, but your kids are slightly older than newborn. I'm assuming, guessing.
Yeah.
Since you were talking to us before the show. But when I first had kids, some superpower within me activated where I can now sleep through everything. Like I don't know what changed, but I was pretty light sleeper before having kids, and now that I have kids, like in the hospital, my wife apparently had struggles all last night, and I was passed out. She couldn't get my attention. I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I'm the same. The kids weren't allowed to sleep in our bed because I definitely would have killed them in their sleep just from, rolling on top of them and not hearing them scream.
That's
So
not as bad, I guess, as thoughts first went when you said that.
yeah, so yeah, my first daughter, she learned real quick that I wouldn't wake up. So she stopped going to mom's side and started going to my side and just climbing in bed next to me. And so then my wife would wake up and be like, "Hey, wait a minute. There's an extra person in the bed. Get out of here." She would chase her out. But
Pretty adorable, though.
but when they were little, I was like, this is probably not a good idea for them to be near me. Just FYI. So
that is funny. Yeah. So we are adjusted now. This is our third kid, so we are outnumbered now. So we're just adjusting to the bigger family size. My other kids are pretty excited. But anyways, Micah, I noticed you got your new mug.
I did. I got it earlier today. and I'm very thirsty as well.
It's Nintendo Pal's 1 year anniversary mug. I sound like I'm plugging it like it's for sale. No, we custom made those for ourselves. Maybe someday we'll have a mug that you can buy. Yeah,
You can buy this mug for $500.
that
So,
specific
I
one.
can just make a I can make a new custom one if someone wants this for $500.
Well, we are excited to have you on our show, Josh. We had an absolute blast being on the Nintendo Powercast, and we are just like stoked to have you here. Well, with that, let's hop right over to the first segment of our show, which is the Nintendo news. Oh no, wait! I mixed it up again. It's What You Playing. Okay, give me a break on the segments. My brain's like all over the place today. Josh, as our guest, why don't you lead us off here? What have you been playing lately, my friend?
Ooh, I'm on a Nintendo show. Let's see. I just hosted a Smash Bros tournament and I played some Smash that day.
Nice.
Busted out. I actually played in my own tournament, which I've never done. It's not super easy to do because I'm kind of moderating everything and making sure everybody's, moving along so we can keep the thing on track. But that was a lot of fun.
Did you
Honestly,
win?
my Switch has kind of been collecting dust. Did I win? No. We have a Smash League in my Discord, and we have coaches, and it sometimes I will make the tournament to where like just random people can find it, and then they'll jump in and they'll just be like crazy good at Smash, just like these like godly Wi-Fi warriors that just come in and dominate. And so it's always a good time though. It's always a great time. So that happens bi-monthly, and then we do a crew battle within the league. Those other on the opposing months. So that's a good time. I've been playing Apex, which is kind of a Switch game, right?
It's
Like I don't
yeah,
think anybody
it's
that
sort of
owns
counts.
yeah, but I've been playing it on the Xbox Series X. Played that last night for just a little bit, and yeah, I haven't been playing much of anything. I pre-ordered Mario Golf today, so
Nice.
I'll be picking that up from GameStop on what, like the 21st or whatever. So or 22nd, and so yeah, just I haven't really been doing much gaming at all. I've just kind of been working my face off as of recent. So
Which is it gets hard when you're trying to juggle so much stuff and the game time. Plus, I mean you have all three systems, right? You've got Switch, you've got PlayStation 5 and Xbox.
no PlayStation 5,
You're just
not
you're
yet,
just on Xbox.
not yet.
Even
I'm
still,
just on Xbox.
I don't know
I've been
how
an X.
people. Yeah, I don't know how people manage multiple systems. I'm just the Switch owner, and I barely have time for that. That's how it feels.
Yeah, there's a little device called the Backbone that allows you to plug in. It plugs into your phone, and so then you can play your Xbox remotely as if you were like kind of like you're playing on a Switch. So a lot of times, like I had to do a job out of town, and uh I was in the hotel room playing Forza on my Xbox at home while I was like 600 miles away or whatever in the in the hotel room. So that was because I don't have the cloud invite yet. There's a cloud invite that I don't have, so I don't get to play the cloud games yet. But uh, so that yeah, I've always been an Xbox fan, so it's been great for me jumping back in, and especially because for me, as of this year with Nintendo stuff, it's been super slow. It's been super slow for any games that I'm really interested in other than like Monster Hunter. So
Are you are you
we
still
had
are you still playing Monster Hunter?
periodically. Yeah, periodically. I haven't touched it in a bit. I think I played it once after one of the recent updates, but um yeah, it just it I have a feeling after this week that will change. I'll be back into the Switch ecosystem a little bit more. I'm hoping with E3 and stuff, there's going to be some announcements for me that'll get me excited and back on the Nintendo train. But right now it's like, like we talked about Pokemon Snap. It wasn't really for me, and it seemed to last about 15 minutes for most people. And then the Nintendo's getting weird with like the Famicom Detective and stuff like that. The Metopia or whatever, and I'm just like, okay, that's cool, it's cool, but they need something like Breath of the Wild 2 or Mario Kart 9 to really pull me back in.
Yeah, yeah, I can definitely see that. This year's been very niche for the games that have come out for Switch. I'd say even Monster Hunter was a pretty niche game. That was one of the biggest
For
titles
sure.
this year. So
Yeah, and I mean you had 3D World, but I mean I played through that to like 100% on the Wii U, so it's like I did some of Bowser's Fury, but I didn't even play that all that much.
yeah, I blazed through Bowser's Fury. I'm still working on 3D World actually. But yeah, well, awesome. I'm glad to hear you will be that Mario Golf will bring you back for at least a little bit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for
Mario
sure.
Golf
Can't wait for that.
that looks like a blast. Micah, what have you been playing lately?
Well, one game I've been playing the most recently is Slay the Spire. After a recommendation from one of our friends, Eli. Uh, so I don't know if anyone here doesn't know. It's essentially a roguelike rope a deck builder. So you build your deck and fight through people, see how far you can make it. And not to brag, but I'm definitely going to brag a little bit. I somehow ended up winning the first 3 games I played. So I just got like the luckiest cards and items that work together so well. Since then, I've lost a few times.
Yeah,
But
I was in that same group message with the friend that recommended it, and he was pretty upset that Micah won the first 3 games without like trying, because I don't think he has won yet.
Oh
yeah,
no.
that game's a blast. Every once in a while, I mean, you just can't get your deck to work the way you want it to with your cards, but other times it just seems to come together so magically. Um, besides that, I actually don't hate me, but I got the Game Pass for 3 months for $1.
Oh no,
So
boo,
I played a
boo.
few
Just kidding.
non-Nintendo games. I did try Sea of Thieves. I probably put like an hour into that, and so far I'm not very impressed. I was only playing with one other person. We had no idea what we were doing. We like found some bounty, and you're supposed to take it to some person, and we're like walking through the town trying to figure out who to give it to when some other ship full of people showed up and they just killed us and took all of our stuff. So that was a little rough for the first time playing.
Yeah,
But yeah,
so Game Pass doing a promo for a dollar for 3 months of Game Pass, which is crazy good considering how big the library is on there. Um, yeah, that's just nuts. You're big into the Game Pass, right, Josh?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. It that's I mean, I'm not really like I'm honestly thinking about picking up like the Ninja Gaiden collection, right? But that's going to be like the well, I shouldn't say that. I did pick up Mass Effect as well, but because I was a Game Pass subscriber, I did get a discount with that as well. So, um
it's a
it
good time
it keeps
to.
me very busy playing Doom and other games like Doom Eternal and stuff like that. Like, hey, wait, that's another Switch game. I've been playing Doom Eternal. So there you go. That counts, right? Does that count
Oh, of course.
as a Switch
Oh,
game?
well, to be honest, I've been playing Slay the Spire on PC as part of the Game Pass. So yeah, I mean it's a good
He
time. You
tried
get
to fake it, but now that Josh is here to offer him support, he's coming
yeah, I don't
clean.
have to feel so guilty. Yeah, I mean it's a good time. You just get the Game Pass for $1, and then you get like 10-15% off or something. So buy a
Yep.
lot of games. Just probably their
Exactly.
plan all along.
Exactly. And my my experience with Sea of Thieves is I've spent most of my time in jail because I went so pirate on everybody that they just threw me in the brig and they wouldn't let me out. So like in the beta, like we sailed off. I then stole the ship and sailed by myself and flipped it upside down. And then when they came back, they put me in the brig and left me there. And there was no way to escape. I was just stuck there
Oh
for like a
wow.
half hour till I left. So yeah. Yeah. So don't be too pirate, kids. Be pirate, but don't be
Alright.
too pirate.
Yeah, it's all about
That's
piracy in healthy doses.
in moderation.
Yeah, definitely that.
Yeah. At one point though, I almost killed myself because I thought I had docked my ship very well, and then I went onto an island, and my ship 30 seconds later just came flying onto the island and almost landed on me. So that was interesting.
Is
I
that
think it then got completely destroyed, so I ended up dying and like spawning in some random location. The new
is
ship.
is that one you guys think would come to Switch? I haven't seen much on Sea of Thieves at all. I've just heard about it. I haven't seen it, any gameplay or anything.
I wouldn't be too surprised. I think Switch could handle a version of it.
A
Like a
version of it.
cloud version.
All right.
Yeah, a cloud version would probably be about what they would have to do. It would be my guess.
Anything else you want to highlight, Micah?
Oh, I guess I did try out Grounded, also on the Game Pass, and that was in like beta or something. But that was pretty fun for if you like survivalist games with some base building. And as long as you're not afraid of spiders, it's all good. There are a lot of spiders in that game, and
Aren't
they're
aren't you
kind of
pretty afraid of
horrifying.
spiders? Yeah, I was gonna
I
say.
am kind of afraid of spiders. I guess I should clarify if you don't know. In Grounded, you play as shrunken people, like from Honey I Shrunk the Kids. So you come across these spiders, and they're huge.
Yeah,
And
that
yeah,
would be pretty
I
scary.
my like legs and whatnot kept getting real itchy while I was playing that game.
Yeah, you know that feeling when you see a bug.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So besides that, it was great though.
Well, for me, I have played a good blend of stuff. I played some more Super Mario 3D World. We are coming up on the end of that. I want to 100% it, but there's a special world after the whole Bowser Neo City thing. So I'll still have that to clear through. Also played some Mario Odyssey. My son was cracking me up because he was so excited that he was telling everybody, "My dad is so nice. He got me to the darker side of the moon, uh, so that I could try it." I helped him get a couple more moons to get to the last level, and he was just so excited about it. And then after playing through that, he cleared it. And has totally finished Mario Odyssey. Hasn't gotten like every moon, but made it to the end of Darker Side of the Moon. So he was pretty. That's like his favorite game of all time. So he's pretty proud of himself. Uh, and then besides that, I was in the hospital with new baby. We were there for 3 days. So I had a lot of downtime because newborn babies mostly just sleep. My wife was mostly just recovering. So between helping take care of baby and helping take care of mom, I watched a lot of tutorials and played a lot of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I have been having a blast figuring out the speedrunner techniques for that game. I am not a speedrunner, but I've been messing around with the leaving the Shrine of Resurrection early and doing shield jumps off of bokoblin heads to send yourself flying super fast across the map. Um, there's like so many cool little tricks and things that the speedrunners do to beat the game. I think the world record right now is like 25 minutes, so it's wild, and I'm just having fun messing around with that. I've been able to clip in through walls using shield unequipping and stuff. Super fun. So I love Breath of the Wild, and I guess I'm just starting to get um, maybe
Second
a
wind.
little starved for Breath of the Wild stuff. waiting for the sequel, so I'm just going back and playing the other one, the first one, some more. But that's it. That's been mostly it for me. Some of the core Switch games. Also played some more Boomerang Fu. I'm enjoying that little indie title. And then after this, I need to go and pick up Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which is on sale right now through Ubisoft Store for $5. That's a
Is that
steal.
with the DLC or without?
I don't think it's with the DLC, but the DLC is cheap. So
You haven't played that yet?
I have messed around with it on other people's systems, but I haven't played through it myself. No, I need to.
Ooh, you're in for a treat.
Yeah. Excuse me. I think my fridge was left open. I gotta go clear that. Micah, do you want to take a? Well, let's move to the next segment of our show. We can start talking about the Nintendo news. I'll be right back.
Well, I guess
I literally feel like he was pranked. Like somebody just called him and was like, "Yo, is your
Is your
fridge
fridge
running?"
Oh man,
And
people
he's
need to
like,
bring that
"Yeah,
back.
you better go catch it."
No,
And he
it's
just
like
took off.
I'm sorry.
He
Won't come out. Oh, there.
It was like
He ran around the curtain. He's like, "Wait, my fridge isn't running anywhere."
so my
Yeah, he's back now.
so I'm gonna kind of embarrass my my in-laws here, but my mother-in-law is visiting to help out with the baby, and she pulled the ice machine out and couldn't get the fridge to close afterwards. So I went and just shoved it back in. It's working now. It was like beeping back there, like you know how. Yeah. Yep. Totally off the rails show tonight. But yeah, the Nintendo news is brought to you by the Andros Podcast Network, which you can tune into the only show on the Andros Podcast Network, which is this one. There is no network. I'm just making that up right now. Okay. We're not like N64 Josh, where he's got like a show every day. That guy, definitely check out his stuff. For news this week, Nintendo has been sending out pricing surveys for games like WarioWare and Brain Age, asking customers, consumers, would you pay this much? And the numbers vary according to reports that are being conglobulated online. WarioWare, I've seen pricing for 30, 50, 60, just asking if you would be willing to buy a game at that price. Interesting stuff. What are your guys' thoughts? Would you like to see WarioWare and Brain Age come to the Switch? And what do you guys think the price of those should be?
Yes, and $39.99
for both.
Yeah, each game.
Yeah,
each game. I think $39.99 is a good. And knowing Nintendo now, that would be $49.99 because they ain't gonna do anything for $39.99. Who are we kidding? And so, I can't remember exactly what Clubhouse Games was priced at, but I feel like WarioWare and Brain Age both fall into that same kind of like that same kind of game category, and I feel like pricing should be similar to Clubhouse Games.
I want to say the Clubhouse Games was 40. I want to say that, or Captain Toad was 40. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
There's been a handful of games. Yeah, it very well may have been 40. I just don't remember off the top of my head.
I'd say.
And then of course you get the Walmart discount.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like at least right now you can get
Walmart
games
discount
for 40.
Okay. I'd say that's a fair price.
There you go.
I'd say that's a fair price. Micah, what are your thoughts?
Yeah,
but
I guess I've had a lot of fun with some WarioWare games, but I think we should all work together, and if we all say $30, they might release it at $30, or they'll say the game's not worth it and they won't release it at all. I guess, but
this is the company that sold us the Game & Watch for $50. So just wanna just remember
look at all that hardware and stuff, though.
Yeah, all that hardware.
You bought Mario Bros for $50.
All that Casio watch.
You bought Super Mario Bros for $50.
I have no regrets.
That's a nifty little system. I agree with you though. I think they probably price. It's interesting that they're sending this out though, right? Like Nintendo's not typically one to gauge the pricing on their consumers through like a survey.
Yeah, it's strange.
I don't think I've ever seen them do this before. So, we'll see what comes of it because it sounds like they want to make WarioWare and Brain Age. So when those come out, we'll see what they decided on price. I do want these games to be successful, and the lower the price of entry, the more copies you sell. So I think they're just trying to get a gauge for like how much can we sell this for and still make a good profit on it. And I feel like you're right, Josh. The $39.99 is probably like the perfect price point.
Probably the 50.
But it'll probably be the 50. Yeah, you're right.
Maybe 40 for a Brain Age. I actually haven't played a Brain Age game really, so I don't know how much they really entail.
Well, and you think about Brain Age has been all handheld. Well, I think they had a spin-off on the Wii. But those games are like primarily handheld games, like for the DS. So maybe that's why they're considering giving it at a lower price. But then they sold us Miitopia at the full 60. So like, did Miitopia not sell well? Maybe it's a response to that. I don't know. I don't know. Well, let's move on to the next bit of news. Shin Megami Tensei 5 release date was accidentally leaked through their Japanese website for a release of November 11th with some more details on the game. This
Accidentally.
Yeah. Do you think this was something that was supposed to be announced at E3, like the release date was going to come?
I think I just have a hard time anymore, like with all of the, all the cogs in the machine, that somebody's just going to accidentally put these things up. This is a way to get people talking. These companies know that. And so I just don't, I don't, and I have a feeling that these games in Japan do very well. So for this to leak over there is instant hype and buzz that, Nintendo wants to take advantage of without having to pay anything. They're just like, oh yeah, all right, Junior, go ahead and accidentally put the date up, and we'll take advantage of the free press.
Yeah. And now people have their eyes peeled for during E3 and whatnot.
Yeah, this might be, I mean, putting on the tinfoil hat, this might be a way to get ahead of E3 as far as news. With an accidental leak, they can get their own solo spotlight time. I did think it was funny because it was very conveniently timed so that leakers could shift away from the Switch Pro that clearly hasn't been announced pre E3. They're like, I really wanted to make a little sketch. I ran out of time, but I wanted to make a sketch with like a guy being a leaker who's like, "Oh yeah, Switch Pro's coming today. Switch Pro's coming tomorrow. Switch Pro's coming." And when it doesn't come, he goes, "Look over there, Shin Megami Tensei release date." Bails off screen because that is how it looked to me. Like we're not in the rumor mill, but the Switch Pro has been predicted for every single day to be announced since Bloomberg reported it might come before E3.
Well, I mean, the timing kind of works out. Maybe the code name for Shin Megami was Switch Pro. So there's just some cross wires going on.
They fed the wrong information to the leaking community. Yeah. Josh, I'm sure
This seems like a game that would be overshadowed here. So, like you were saying, get this out ahead of the rest of the news so that it starts to build some traction before it's just kind of forgotten over here.
Yeah. This isn't like a huge ticket item to show in a direct. So in the Nintendo Direct, if Shin Megami Tensei 5 is showing up, it's not going to be. It might. You're right. It might be overshadowed by something like Breath of the Wild 2, a new Donkey Kong game, Mario Kart 9, something like that will way overshadow this. But giving this ahead of time gets it its own little spotlight, and fans for the series can get hyped and spread it now without getting buried in the spread of other stuff. Totally, it does feel like a very tactful move. So speaking of E3, our next news item here, Nintendo Digital eShop sales event will be happening right after E3 with up to 50% off games, which is pretty exciting. I'm hopeful that there's also some pre-order discounts and maybe some out-today releases that will be included in this summer sale event. Not summer sale, this E3 sale event. So keep your eyes out for that. And then our last bit of news item here, we have Nintendo updates the firmware to 12.0.3, but then pulls it back because it caused some issue with connection, I believe, and then quickly reverted and put that. It is now live again, and it is being distributed again. I think I may have had this issue happen. I was having so many issues when we were in the hospital with our Switch Lite connecting to any Wi-Fi playing games. I couldn't do it. So I am wondering if I got snagged as part of the errors with the update.
Is it weird hospital Wi-Fi or?
Yeah, that's the question, huh? It was working for everything else, so I don't know. I wanted to try out the new Fortnite season. I did get to play that a little bit. I forgot to mention that in my Whatcha Playin.
I also forgot to mention that.
It's a new season. I didn't play too much, but I had fun. I won my first match. I'm sorry, my second match. The first match I landed next to some guards and died right away. It was so fast I didn't even count it. But
that's when you like come in next to an NPC, like, oh man, I wonder what they're gonna say, and they're just hostile right away and kill you.
Yeah.
I had that happen this new season as well.
Yeah, there's a lot going on the map in this one. Anyways, that is all we have today for the news. So let's hop over to the realm of rumor. All right, so speaking of Fortnite, a prominent Fortnite leaker says that Samus is a no-go for Fortnite. Allegedly, Epic was not able to get the rights to put her into their game. This is a bummer, because for a little bit here, the rumors were stirring, and it seemed very likely that Samus would come in as part of the Hunters set. Was that this last season? No, the season prior. The same time that Master Chief and Kratos were coming. And many speculated, well, maybe she'll come later as like a promo for Metroid stuff. And this is still a leaker, and it's all hearsay, but I guess she hasn't shown up in the game yet. So I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Or were you kind of hoping for Samus to show up in Fort, or didn't care?
This rumor wouldn't surprise me at all. It's kind of what I thought when there were like that leak that they kind of had plans at some point. I kind of figured that maybe they reached out to Nintendo, and I feel like Nintendo would shut them down and say no. So this wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, the thing is, like, Nintendo's done a lot of partnering with Epic on Fortnite. I mean, we have a custom Fortnite Switch and custom Joy-Cons. They've done several pack-in bundle things, and made a big deal when it came to the Switch.
Crossovers.
That's true. Yeah, no IP crossovers.
Oh,
Josh,
hardware and skins.
what are your thoughts?
I can't, other than maybe Star Fox, I can't really think of a character that would be great in Fortnite. Samus is what everybody seems to point towards. But I mean, one of her hands is a gun,
Yeah.
right? Now that I mean, so I don't know. I
Maybe a zero
just
suit version.
yeah, maybe that would be, and I mean I'm looking at like the Smash screen right now, and like Star Fox seems like a great choice. Uh but then you look at Mario plus Rabbids we were talking about a little bit ago. And I mean they put weapons in the hands of all. Now they're very different and very Nintendo-esque weapons, but they're still weapons nonetheless. And so maybe a character like that, like Mario or Luigi and stuff could work. But then you've also got the height issue.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like it doesn't bother me that there's not Nintendo representation in Fortnite. Like, because and then you have like the Rocket League deal, whereas like if you play Rocket League on your Switch, you have the Mario and Luigi car and they have cool sound effects. You're the only one seeing that, or other Switch owners. No other consoles or PC are seeing the cool skin.
Yeah.
So uh you know it just it, this does not surprise me at all.
Yeah, I could see them doing that though, where it's only for Switch players. But for everybody else, you show up as like what, a default, something like that. Like, because I think that's what happens for the
Mhm.
cars in Rocket League.
Right. Yeah.
I could see them doing that. So for me, I find it a little bit of a bummer, but I'm not surprised. I would like to see Samus in Fortnite. For one thing, I think it would be fantastic for Metroid as a series to get some exposure to a younger crowd. Fortnite's a huge game. It's played by a ton of people, and it introduces IPs to a lot of people who will go, "Wow, this is a cool looking character. I want to play a game that this character is in," or what movie is this guy from? I should look this movie up. It it's like really good advertising for a game like Metroid, which I feel is a fantastic series and needs more exposure. So
I completely agree.
yeah,
Like, yeah,
so
I completely agree with you there.
I'm bummed on that end. I do wish Nintendo would put in a rep. I'd be all for it. I'd buy whatever they put in.
What
Just
if it was
because
a Goomba stack? Because I feel like that could be a good height. Why did you just add or take away Goombas?
Goomba stack in Fortnite. Yeah. So I think that it would be cool for Samus to be in Fortnite, and it makes sense with the season. It's aliens, man. It's an alien season with alien flying saucers and stuff.
You know what? Put Captain N in Fortnite and give him a Breath of the Wild glider, you know, and or maybe even Mario's yellow cape as a glider, and just like have Nintendo be represented that way with somebody that's just like covered in
Nintendo stuff.
Nintendo
Yeah,
stuff,
that would be
like
actually pretty cool. I think that would be a really cool addition to the game because
give him a power glove, put a zapper on his hip. You know what I mean? Like just go old school.
All of his
just
And
weapons are
all the
just a
kids would be like,
zapper.
they just need to take your N64 Josh like logo and make that a Fortnite skin.
"Yep,
I'd be all for that.
there you go,
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
there you go."
So you were talking about Star Fox being in Fortnite. They do have a skin that I think is supposed to be a nod to Star Fox called like Phoenix, something like that. And it's a
Mm,
fox person that's wearing like a jumpsuit. So I I
interesting.
I
That's cool.
think they want to. I mean, you see that in the documents that got leaked from their internal promo stuff that they want Samus in or wanted Samus in at one point. So we'll see. We'll see how persistent they can be, and if they can crack the uncrackable Nintendo IP protection.
Yeah, right. Good
Because
luck.
hey, they've been doing weird stuff. They gave it to Ubisoft with the Rabbids. They gave
Got
Mario. They
that
gave
movie coming out
yeah, they
at
did
some
they
point.
did Link in Crypt of the Necrodancer. I they've been more open this last like couple years with like the Switch Life than ever. It's wild. It's kind of like who knows? I don't know. Um,
Yeah, Starlink and Star Fox, you know.
so this isn't in our outline here, Josh, but I do want to know your thoughts on the Switch Pro rumored to come pre E3. Do you think it's real? What are your thoughts on the Switch Pro?
I think the Switch Pro is real. I mean, they better hurry, right?
Oh,
They
okay.
better hurry and announce this thing if it's going to happen before E3. Here's the thing. Nintendo's PR always says we're focusing on software that's going to be coming out this year and, sure, then they show us Splatoon 3, and they're not going to say and we're focusing on hardware cuz everybody goes, the Switch Pro's coming out and there's no surprise there, right? So, if the Switch Pro is happening, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't announce it at E3. I think the PR stuff is just that PR stuff. And my question with the Switch Pro is where do you price it? Because you price it at anything above 300 and you're marketing towards people that want to play 4K stuff, buy the PS5 digital or buy the Series S. It just seems like a really like they almost need to come in at like 299 or 350 with this thing and
Yeah.
then drop the price of the regular Switch and then drop the price of the Switch Lite. But I don't see them doing that. I see them leaning into the Nintendo brand like they know they can do right now. And if the Switch Pro is 399, I just don't know. I don't know where are you guys at if it's 399. Is it a day one purchase for you or are you like "Uh, I don't know.
Probably not. Probably wouldn't be a day one purchase for me at 400. Although then again, it also might not be at 350.
I think 400 is my limit. If it's above that, I'd really have to like I'd really have
It'd
to
have to be really cool.
yeah, I'd really have to think about it. Yeah, I mean maybe they could convince me, but I think the 350 is a good price point to get some bonus features. I don't know. They might just bring down. Oh, we have in the chat here, Tim for our buddy NeoPrime33. He said he believes the Pro is going to be 299 with the original model getting lowered to 250, and then the Lite being 200. Um, I'd say you could even lower the Lite down. You put that at 150, the original at 250, and the Pro at 300 or 350. I don't know. I think based
A
off
lot of
the
it,
yeah,
a lot of it depends on like how much of an upgrade is it really going to be.
for me, my Switch is old. It's the first model. I didn't get the revision one with the like increased battery life because mine's still working fine, and it still does work fine. But I think I'm ready for an upgrade of some kind, and I would be willing to pay 400 if if all the rumored stuff is true. But I don't know how many people in the general public would. So I don't think Nintendo will do that. I just think it would its sales would be devoured by things like the Xbox Series S and the PS5 digital cuz those are games that are for specs and hardware on a console. Like that's that's what their market's towards. Yeah.
But they don't have Nintendo first party games, which sell like nothing else. The only game that sells better is Grand Theft Auto. Other than that, like Mario Kart, Animal Crossing, Smash Bros, Breath of the Wild, Odyssey, Pokemon. I mean, other studios would kill to have those kind of sales numbers,
Yeah.
right? Nintendo's selling like 4 or 5 times as much as some of Sony's best titles. That's crazy. That's crazy, but that's why they could probably and you have to remember, like, and I'm kind of playing devil's advocate with myself a little bit, but you're still looking at a system that you can just pop out of the dock and play portably. There is value there, right? You're not necessarily marketing to just the people that want to play on their TV and on their monitor. They want the a lot of the Switch player base plays 100% of the time handheld. And so to have the highest, definition, or have, I don't even know if they would do a 4K, little screen. I don't even know if it's necessary at that point. But I mean, I'm looking at my iPhone 12 Max right now, and what's the resolution on that? So, yeah, you definitely could market it as that pro machine. But what is it going to do on your TV? And what is it going to do? And the thing is, Nintendo's first party games always look incredible. They always look incredible. But are they going to work hard enough to make games like Doom and Battlefield? Because it's not like the whole other factor is the amount of space. And it takes a lot of space to put 4K games on your system. So, how big is it? Are we going to get another 32 gig card? Because you're not holding anything with that in 4K. Like it's not happening. So it's got to be probably a minimum of 100, probably 150. That's going to raise the price. And then, I mean, the Series S, what? That's a 500 gig hard drive. Series X is a terabyte. You have to have, and it's like, it's crazy when you fire up the Series X and you download the games and you're like, I have 5 games on my 1 terabyte drive. And then to think about the Switch doing that same thing is like, I don't know. I don't know how this works as a handheld. It's
Yes.
it's it's
Some
kind
of
of
those
crazy.
game sizes just get absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah, Call of Duty's 150 gigs by itself. Master Chief Collection's like 120 gigs. Like that's massive. So now are you going to is Nintendo going to put money into cloud service? Like, I mean, Xbox announced today that the stick, the gaming stick that you just plug into your TV and then plug a controller into it and play Game Pass. Like, it yeah, this is going to be a very interesting time for Nintendo and see the way they navigate these waters, cuz I'm very curious.
Yeah, it's one of those it's one of those things where I haven't thought about it too much. I think I'm gonna be one of those like blind purchasers on the Switch Pro if the Switch Pro is real. But I really doubt that the overall market will be that way. And so Nintendo does have to be very careful with how they price it if they want it to really sell. But maybe they don't want it to really sell. Maybe they just want it as an addition to the existing family. There are rumors that it's going to replace the original model. And if that's the case, they can't price it too terribly high because
Mhm.
if it's replacing the original model, they want the price to kind of be similar so that they can keep up their sales. They don't want to increase the price of a system halfway through the system's life cycle just because they got a slightly newer version. I don't know. Like, I don't know. That's a weird way to go about it. I didn't really think about that, but like they could just be like, all right, this is the new price for the Switch. Do the opposite of what they did with the 3DS, where they launched it and then they're like, just kidding, it's cheaper now. Like
Right.
that would be dirty. That would be dirty if they did that. But who knows? They could. They totally could. Um,
Shout out to my boy in the chat, Nightcrawler724. He co-hosts with me on the Press Pause show and fills in on NPC now from time to time. We do the Smash Bros. Cast together. But he says the Super Nintendo Switch, that's what he wants it to be called. The Super Nintendo Switch needs to embrace external hard drives for when it's docked. That's a solution right there for you just tell it which games you want. It moves it, moves the ones internally, very similar to how the Series X does it. Take it on the go with you, pop it back in your dock, you're good, you're good to go. The other thing is that a lot of the Switch games are still on the cart, but even the biggest cart costs quite a bit of money. I think it's like 64 gigs. You're still not going to fit like Call of Duty on there. Like that's not happening. And I'm not saying they're even trying to get Call of Duty on there, but the way games are going and like Fortnite, if Fortnite could look even like close to how it does on the Series X on the Switch, it would be so much more viable and you would have so much more fun playing it because all of a sudden it's like, oh, I have draw distance. Whereas
yeah,
right now it's like, is that bush moving? What am I shooting at? So
Things just kind of pop up
mhm.
too far away and
yeah.
always surprise me.
I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that we get something really cool and that it's priced really nice. That's all the rumors seem to be pointing to a system with some pretty neat specs, and the pricing is not going to be outrageous. I think the 350 is the most likely, but you never know.
It's gonna be old tech the moment it comes out, right? The Switch
Oh
was
yeah,
like a 3-year-old tablet when they launched it because Nintendo makes profit on their consoles, unlike the other, at least unlike Xbox. They don't make profit on there. They want to sell Game Pass subscriptions and software. That's their thing, and so they just get the systems out there. Nintendo's making money on the hardware as well as the software, and they're I mean, they're crushing it. Uh, yeah, their their investor meetings and stuff. Nintendo's making money. They know what's up.
yeah. Well, I'm I'm sure everybody is like totally sick of hearing about the Switch Pro because it's like literally talked about every day in the Nintendo community until it releases. So it's like I crack up at all of the it's coming out tomorrow. It didn't come today. Last Thursday, it was like every hour I saw someone like, oh, it's okay, okay, and I feel like Nintendo knew what was going on, man. I like they have to, right? And they're posting things like check out DC Teen Superhero Girl Squad and say hello to the Kikwee from Skyward Sword. And I just cracked up because they were just posting. They're just taking advantage of this time, man, where everybody's watching their social media like a hawk. And they're like, well, we might as well advertise to these people.
So waiting for another. There's Dunban over there.
Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait. Those are the best. So that about does it for what we got going in the rumor mill. So let's talk about, or let's move to the next segment of our show, which is the community corner. In the community corner, we answer questions submitted by you, the community. So thank you for being a part of the community and dropping in some questions. If you would like to send us questions, you can hit us up on Twitter. And we are also on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So just leave comments or join our Discord where we do chat on all these kinds of things. So, with that being said, we have a couple questions from Discord. First off, we have Bruce who asks, are you going to talk about Pikmin 4? And a follow-up question to that from LPD. He says, I mean, there has to be Pikmin news this E3. If it's not Pikmin 4, what do you hope it'd be? A party-esque game? Maybe an Animal Crossing-like world-building game where you clear space for settlers? What are you hoping for Pikmin 4? Josh, are you a Pikmin fan? I can't remember if you're a big Pikmin guy.
No, no. No.
It's all right. I am not a Pikmin person myself. Like I have Pikmin 3 Deluxe and I still have not played it. I need to go through and play it.
I mean, they're fun, but like it, it's one of those like cool niche titles that Nintendo does. Some people are huge fans, right? Some people really, really love that series. Uh, but I don't like based on the way Deluxe sold, I I don't know if we'll ever see another Pikmin game again.
Oh, you didn't think it sold well? I thought it sold pretty well for Pikmin.
There's
Let
the
me take a
problem
look. Let me
for
take a look.
Pikmin.
But I
I don't know. I don't know if it's like Rockstar sales, but it was like good enough that it didn't
Supposedly
kill it.
like just under 2 million from what I've seen.
yeah, just under 2 million.
Is that bad for
So
sales? I thought that was pretty. That's pretty good for not Mario Zelda game.
yeah, it honestly those numbers are better than what I had thought. I had I thought that when the game came out, I heard the numbers were not good at all.
Okay,
So 2 million, not as bad as I was thinking. So uh
it's not
so yeah,
totally dead,
maybe
but not. It's
no,
definitely
from
not.
what I saw early on was like, well, it was bad. It was bad, and I hadn't gone back and looked since.
Yeah,
So that's good. That's good. I'm because I know there are people that just love. I mean, I put out some Pikmin TikToks, and I could see there was just a very hungry community that was very excited for Pikmin on their Switch, and so and I mean there is it's a charming it's a charming game. It's creative. It's unique, but you know, I don't. It give me Mario Kart. You know what I mean? Give me Smash. Give me something a little more action.
I think they need to do some more. They have been kind of doing this, but I think they need to put Pikmin in more stuff. Like Pikmin in Mario Kart, have Olimar and Pikmin in a little Mario Kart. That'd be pretty awesome. Have them pop
Mm.
in some other games. Maybe do I don't know. They pop up in Nintendo World. There's like little hidden Pikmin in Nintendo World in Japan. So like Miyamoto has like a special place for the game. I just feel like it needs to break into the mainstream more. Kind of like Animal Crossing this generation just like exploded and has become like a pillar of a game on the Switch. I I,
Hmm.
I would love to see that for a series like Pikmin. But at the same time, I also haven't played the one I have, so I can't really talk too much to it. Micah, what are your thoughts? You hoping for a Pikmin 4? What would you like to see?
Yeah, I'd like a Pikmin 4. I guess it doesn't feel like it's been that long since the last Pikmin came out, but I guess it's like a deluxe version. But I'd be excited for some more Pikmin news. It's been a while since I've played one. So
Yeah, LPD's question I think is interesting. If is there like another direction you'd like to see the series go? Would it do well in a party-esque game or a world-building type game?
I remember we talked about like a board game Pikmin, and I remember thinking, oh, it was like a deck building
Deck
or
building?
something. I remember thinking, wow, this is a really good idea. Nintendo should do that. And then I don't really remember what it was anymore.
Yeah, Neil Prime in chat points out the Niantic Pikmin game coming out. The guys that make Pokemon Go have announced that they will be making a Pikmin game of sorts.
I'd forgotten about that.
So maybe that will help the series. I don't know what I'd like to see for the series. It does feel like one where it's really hard to improve on the formula without making it too complicated. Uh, but just doing the same thing over and over again isn't like making the same game over and over again isn't really the right way to go for that one either. Uh,
I feel like like after playing 3, after playing Deluxe, it felt dated, right? The series felt dated. So if there was some kind of refresh and and it even kind of looked dated. You know what I mean? So I feel like if they did a 4 and it was graphically like beautiful and the puzzles were on point, I feel like it could do well. It's just we it it's one of the ports that we've got from the Wii U that like if I think it felt dated when it was on the Wii U even. And so I think with the, fresh coat of paint and plenty of time in the oven, I think there could be something special there. But it just needs to feel more updated, I think. That's going to be one of the biggest things. It just has to feel a little more
Yeah,
uh
yeah.
uh up to par with common game with current games.
Well, part of the problem I think is the genre, because I would classify it as an RTS game. Uh, real time strategy, something like StarCraft, Warcraft, Command and Conquer, but it's Nintendo-fied, right? It's people you're doing worker placement type stuff, but instead of it click and drag with your mouse, you're the little guy and you got little Pikmin characters that you harvest and grab. That genre has struggled to uh, grow and adapt with new things in the series. Uh, I mean, there hasn't really been big games like that since like StarCraft, Warcraft, and Command and Conquer, and those are old games at this point. I mean, I know they were updating those for a while, and there's still active communities around those games. But
And the like
there's not
Halo Wars, so kind of similar. I think I haven't played them though.
but there's not like we're not on like Warcraft 5 or 6 now, you know what I mean? Or StarCraft 5 or 6. Like there's I it feels like the genre has struggled to adapt and grow. So I don't yeah, I don't really know where you take Pikmin 4. I do think crossovers, things like the Niantic app, will be helpful. Putting Pikmin into other games, you put them in Mario Party, sure. put, have them show up in different things to kind of tease to the game. But for the actual game itself, yeah, I don't know what I'd do. I think Josh is right. You could give it a shiny coat of paint, but I don't know if that'll be enough. Honestly, I don't know. Well, I think that's enough Pikmin 4 talk. Thanks for the question, Bruce and LPD. For the last bit of our community corner, we will give some time here because this weekend is Gamer Christmas. It is E3 weekend and Summer of Gaming weekend at the same time, right? Those are both happening at the same time. I haven't been following Summer of Gaming. I need to follow that a little bit more closely. Uh, So, Nintendo is coming up with their E3 Direct, followed by 3 hour Treehouse presentation. We have Josh here right before, the week before, to ask what are your predictions for things coming for the Nintendo E3. What do you think will happen? What do you hope will happen? And maybe what do you not want to happen?
What do I think will happen? I this is a strange year for Nintendo for me because I feel like I don't have any idea what is going to happen. I feel like uh, more than likely I'm leaning into Breath of the Wild 2. I think it's going to be out this year. I think I said this last night on the Nintendo Powercast, but I kind of think the Joy-Cons and Skyward Sword are the nod to Zelda 35 and that's it. You know, that's that or Zelda's 35th anniversary, not Zelda 35. That would be the game that we're probably not getting.
They're saving it all for the Metroid
And
5.
yeah, and maybe we see a Metroid trilogy. the Prime trilogy, maybe. The Nintendo Switch Online, Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance games, Nintendo 64 games. What what are we gonna see there? What is the appeal for Nintendo Switch Online? Especially when you give us a fun game like Mario 35 and then take it away. What's gonna, you know, what's gonna happen there?
I want to see more games like that.
And yeah, more games, but bring that one back. Like it's finished. It's sitting there. What like I don't they're gonna sell it to us somehow. They're like, haha, it was free. Thanks for testing it. That's called a beta. Now pay for it. Um if we're gonna get wild and crazy, I think Master Chief's hitting Smash.
Yes,
I think
my man. That has been my prediction for months, basically since this show started. I was like, yeah, let's get Chief and Smash. I'm not even a Halo
yeah,
fan. I just believe that he will come. He is the face of Xbox, and I mean, it's
right.
gotta come. It's gotta come. Sorry to interrupt. Keep
Yeah,
going.
and I mean I say it on all the shows. People are so tired of it probably, but I just want to see Mario like like punching Sonic off of a like spiking Sonic, and then you hear the sound of the sticky nade, and he turns and it just sticks right to his nose, right?
That'd
And
be it.
then
A little wobble.
oh, you hear the monks start chanting, and then they're out steps Chief, right? And Chief's here to finish the fight or something, because that would be, that'd be totally, something he would say. So, uh I want to see that. I want to see GoldenEye. I want to see the GoldenEye 64 remake that is finished and recently, well, back in January, got leaked to the internet on the Switch and the Xbox. Multiplayer, similar to the Perfect Dark remake.
Yeah,
That would be amazing. Jump
that
back
would
in
be
and
really
play
cool.
GoldenEye. I want to see I want to see Rare and Nintendo team up for an Xbox / Switch game for Banjo 3. That we see Banjo 3. My biggest dream with E3 is Mario Kart 9. I just don't know if it's going to happen. And with I said it last night on my show, the anniversary of Mario Kart came out in 92, 2022. I could see them celebrating a Mario Kart Ultimate with a big anniversary that was all the games. And so maybe the end of the presentation, when they're like, we've got one more thing, and we hear the lights, counting down, and then the squeal of the tires, and just across the screen we see, you know, Super Mario Kart Ultimate, or
Mario Kart
whatever
Live
it ends up
2.
being.
Just kidding.
Oh, please. Don't don't
That
don't
would
don't
that
don't
would
don't
hurt.
don't.
You hear all
So
that, and then it turns out it's actually F-Zero. Although I'm
yeah,
pretty sure they don't have
right. So
wheels and tires in F-Zero, so
exactly. Yeah, it's
They
that
just okay.
Star Fox Grand Prix,
They
which
just
was
need to
fake.
put
So uh,
they just need to put Captain Falcon in Mario Kart. Like,
yep. Yeah, it needs to be
it,
more of a Nintendo cart. It
yeah,
needs to be like Smash with carts. It's
it
time. They've started making the move, And Neo Prime says he's never heard of this GoldenEye rumor. GoldenEye was done. It was coming out on the Xbox 360, the Xbox Live Arcade or whatever, and Nintendo got cold feet at the last second. The game was done, ready to go, and Nintendo got cold feet. It's a different Nintendo now, and like celebrate Rare. Give us they are all, everybody's playing nice now. Give us some GoldenEye, especially if there's a Nintendo 64 Mini announced, or something. So yeah, that's kind of as far as what I don't really thought about what I wouldn't want from Nintendo, because even if these games aren't for me, they are for somebody, and somebody gets stoked about them, and that's fine. That's fine. There's plenty of other things for me to play, and I can still celebrate what those other people are enjoying. So that's kind of where I'm at.
100% agree on that one. I really like that you said that, because I did see a question on Twitter trending, like what what prediction do you, or what thing would you not want to see in the Nintendo Direct? And I was like, that seems weird because I will pretty much be happy with anything.
They
Um,
announced they're just quitting the video game
I
business.
guess that would be bad. Yeah, we're just becoming a software company. That would be sad. Um, but I saw a lot of people saying things that I was like, how could you not want this? They were like, I don't want to see an Ocarina of Time remake. That game, I don't want to. I don't want to play an old game, or I don't want to see a Fire Emblem character get added to Smash Bros. Now,
And
granted,
I'm kind of okay with that one.
I
Not
see
happening.
I see the reasoning behind that. But if they did, would you
Mm.
complain? Well, people would.
I mean, yeah, a little
I will
bit.
never. I'm
Because it
never
means
going to.
they took the slot away from someone else that isn't a Fire Emblem character. I mean, now they added we have an extra bonus character in its Fire Emblem. I mean, I couldn't really be upset about that.
I just am.
You know what Sakurai is going to do is he's going to show Waluigi as if he's the character, kind of like they did with King Dedede, right? And then King K. Rool showed up,
Yeah.
except for it's still just going to be the assist trophy, and it's going to be another Fire Emblem character. That's what he's
Oh
going to do
no! Yeah.
to troll
Oh
everybody
my
and be
goodness,
like,
that would be so
don't mess
funny.
with me.
Just give a
Also,
big like,
too,
and I'm
Don't.
retiring. Take
yeah,
that.
Yep.
Take that. Yeah, I
Here's
am.
one more sortie.
I'm like definitely in the same mentality. Anything that gets announced is going to be good. Someone's going to enjoy the stuff that's announced. I really can't see E3 being disappointing. There's not really a way to make it disappointing because something is going to come out that I'll be at least semi interested in. It might not have all of the stuff I really want. I am in the same camp. I think Breath of the Wild is coming this year. Breath of the Wild 2. Uh, that might not be the case, but that's okay because they're focusing on stuff coming out this year. There's gonna be stuff to play, and I'm pumped for it. 3 hours of Treehouse. Uh, I mean, that's like they could easily do like three or more games playing during Treehouse with that much time. I don't know what's normal. I don't remember how long they spend for each game in Treehouses normally. But the last one I watched was the Mario Origami King one, and they played that one for about like 40 minutes, and then swapped to Bakugan. And
play that for another 2 hours or something.
yeah, but I'm excited to see that. I'm excited for Treehouse. I think it's going to be a good time to check out some of these games. I bet they're going to play some Mario Golf. I think we'll see some Mario Golf gameplay.
Oh, for sure.
If
For sure. And I mean, 2018, they announced Samus Returns in the treehouse. It wasn't even in the direct. And so I still hold on to hope that there's going to be something announced after during the treehouse. They're like, here's gameplay of this game that we didn't even talk about. And it's like, whoa, you know, because otherwise the treehouse events sometimes don't seem like they're all that worth watching
yeah,
because it's like you kind of know we kind of know what Mario Golf is at this point, right? But we do. We've played the past games. We we understand it. But the more they can inform those that maybe maybe they're on the fence, whatever. Like I get it. It's a good thing. But for the more hardcore, we're like, yeah, we just want more. We want more info on something new, you know.
yeah,
So we'll see.
yeah. I am hopeful. I would love if they drop a 2D Metroid in the treehouse again. That would be pretty sick. That would be pretty awesome.
Oh yeah.
But also kind of sad because I feel like they need to put that in the actual presentation. Because
Right.
they, some games, I feel like Nintendo markets into obscurity. Games like Chibi Robo, even Pikmin, where they just like don't give it the right timing and push that it needs to be successful. And I don't know. I want all games to get a chance in the limelight, you know, because some of these titles are fantastic, fantastic games that just are released or are announced alongside something like Breath of the Wild, and they'll just get lost in the woodwork of announcements. So E3 is a great time to get a whole bunch of stuff, but some of those giant games like Breath of the Wild, maybe Horizon Zero Dawn for PlayStation, Halo for Xbox, those are going to be like the headliners, and some of this other stuff might get lost in that. So I hope that's not the case for a game like a new 2D Metroid or a new Donkey Kong. I hope not, but who knows? Micah, you got any last minute predictions before E3 this year?
Well, I got to make my usual prediction. Metroid Prime 4. They're going to say something. And
Anything.
that some
Just
and
give
that
me
something
anything.
might just be that it's still in development.
Yeah.
Or that it's canceled altogether.
Oh my gosh.
Josh, I wanted to go back. I wanted to go back and ask about you. So you're thinking that Skyward Sword is and the Joy Cons are the nod to the 35th. If that's the
Mhm.
case, like why not market it like that? Because they haven't said anything about it being like this is for the 35th anniversary. I don't think they've even mentioned it in any of the advertising for Skyward Sword.
I don't even know if they.
You don't think they're going to celebrate
I
it?
don't know if
They're
they
going to
will.
acknowledge it? Okay.
Like, I kind of don't. I mean, they might, but I kind of don't think so. Uh, I would love to see like the game, like the Legend of Zelda Game and Watch. You know, the original one that exists, and then to play that plus the original game. I think that would be very
That
cool.
would be pretty cool.
If Breath of the Wild is coming out, and then you have Skyward Sword being released, what do you put in the mix there? You know, what else is like? They gonna release a collection of the older games? Skyward Sword is already an older game. If if 64 games are coming to Nintendo Switch Online, you've got Ocarina and Majora's Mask sitting there. If Game Boy Advance games are coming, you've got Minish Cap sitting there. You have Link's Awakening again, or the Seasons games if it is regular Game Boy games. So I, I hope I'm wrong, right? Because I know there's a lot of Zelda fans that would be like, "No, I want more. I want the, I want the Zelda, you know, 3D All Stars that we got." Like, but I don't know. That's a lot of Zelda for them to put out in in a very very short period. Like
Yeah.
that's not a very like we're talking like less than a half a year for. I mean, if they did a trilogy of games or three games for and Breath of the Wild 2, that's a lot of Zelda to consume. And I just don't know. I don't I it's hard for me to believe that they would do it. Maybe, but they didn't even do the majority of Mario stuff was like the Game and Watch and like
They did some like
the
board games
the
and
Switch.
clothes. Yeah, they did some like
Yeah,
random
and
stuff.
Legos and
Hey, I'd be all for
the
some
Switch
Zelda
even
Legos,
was
man. That
like,
would be pretty sweet.
hey, I'm down. I'm down. Sign me up as well. But like, they did the NES Legos. But even the Mario Switch, there's nothing that says Mario on this thing. I mean, the wrist straps are blue. Like there's nothing that even points to Mario on it. It was just kind of a weird like, hey, we're gonna throw one more, what we're gonna say it's a Mario Switch, but the case has Mario on it. So, and then 3D All Stars, 3D World came out like what early this year, and so I don't know. I feel like if it was really going to be the year of Zelda, we would have started at the beginning of the year with like the the collection or whatever, then Skyward Sword, then Breath of the Wild. But in this short span, not to mention, we don't know what third parties are going to be doing. Now, maybe wasn't like Monolith Soft working on some kind of a Zelda game? Maybe we find out some kind of information about that this E3. That's a possibility. I haven't heard anything about that in forever, but I remember
Yeah.
early on they were hiring for some kind of Zelda game.
I think it was assumed that was
So
Breath of the Wild 2. I think since they worked on the first one with them, they had Monolith Soft helping out. But I don't know. Like no one knows.
and maybe maybe that is the case. That's what it is. So, you know, but Nintendo could completely surprise us, right? Like I don't want people to take anything that I'm saying and let it, like, Neo Prime says I hate it, but I'm making some good points, but like that that doesn't mean that there isn't something up their sleeve that's going to completely, knock our socks off.
Right.
And that's what I'm hopeful for, that they're they're still going to do something, Just please don't make it difficult to get Zelda pins like they did the first set of Mario pins on the My Nintendo or whatever, cuz
Oh
that
man, that
that was frustrating.
like yeah, it's horrible. That was horrible. I was so sad. Uh, the the thing about Zelda is they have done anniversary stuff. Like I remember it was about the time Skyward Sword came out. They released it in conjunction with the 25th anniversary because that was 10 years ago. The 25th anniversary Zelda, and there was a concert, like a live concert that went around for it, but that was about it. So I could totally see exactly what you're saying, Josh. They just released Breath of the Wild 2, and they kind of mentioned like this is the 35th year of this series, and because of that, we're super excited that Breath of the Wild 2 launches this year, kind of deal. And maybe we get a special edition Joy-Con or a special edition Switch, and or a Pro controller. That would be pretty cool. Gold. I'm seeing in the chat gold controllers would be pretty sweet. Another thing, I don't remember if this was for the which anniversary this was for, but they did a Four Swords anniversary edition for the DSi for free. You could download.
Yep.
I could see something like that. They did Mario 99, so maybe we get some free Four Swords game.
99 swords.
Zelda 99 swords. It's cooperative. A cooperative battle royale would be pretty hilarious.
Oh yeah, like one massive raid against some giant. Everybody's fighting the giant boss, and we're all throwing boomerangs and arrows and bombs and everything. That would be so much fun.
One swipe wipes out like 30.
Yeah, I could see them doing something small like that. But you're making great points. What my hope is that we're getting everything, man. They're giving us Breath of the Wild 2. We're gonna get Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD. I cannot be convinced that those are not coming to Switch. But whether they come,
It's too easy copy pasta.
Yeah.
They're definitely gonna be on
whether
the
they
Switch. They're
come
like the last two remaining.
right, right. Whether they come as part of the anniversary though is the question. I don't know, but those are coming. Like they have to be. It's just easy money for Nintendo. But when they announced that Skyward Sword was coming in July, that threw a wrench into my like timeline in my head. I was like, okay, we're gonna see Wind Waker come in June, and maybe July, August, Twilight Princess comes, and then Breath of the Wild 2 for the holiday. But they put Skyward Sword in there, and I'm like, well, I don't know. Wind Waker and Twilight Princess really can't come this year. It would be so much Zelda. Like, I would love it if they came this year, but they're going to cannibalize their own sales by putting that much Zelda in one short time span.
Well, and Wind Waker and Twilight Princess they both have they will move units, right? And so if Nintendo gets into a position where there's a lull, those are games that can fill those voids for sure.
Yeah. I think this is not like the Wii U where it felt like Nintendo was rushing to get things out as fast as possible to keep their library alive. I think that Nintendo has a backlog of things that are ready to go. Like ready to go. Metroid Prime Trilogy might be in that backlog. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Wind Waker, Twilight Princess are in that backlog. Those have to be done. Those would be so easy to bring over to Switch, especially since they've done all of these Wii U ports. And I firmly believe that they have like a backlog of things to just release when they maybe get delayed on something, like Metroid Prime 4. They're like, well, here's the trilogy. You know, like they're in an awesome position. As fans, we're also in an awesome position because there's going to be a lot of games. You know, that's just kind of the what I am seeing with E3 and what we already like. We don't know a ton about what's coming out at the end of this year, but we've got Mario Golf coming this month. That's this month, right? Or is that July? I might be.
June 22nd, I believe.
Yeah, so just a couple weeks. We've got Skyward Sword, and then beyond that, we don't know a ton. Well, we got Pokemon coming in November and in January, and now Shin Megami Tensei, which I would say is like a a big name. It's a big name out there, and that's exclusive to Switch from what I know. So we don't know a ton first party. So I'm just thinking that this is going to be a good year because there's so much in the works that feels like it's getting about time that it should be cooked. Bayonetta 3, Breath of the Wild 2. Metroid Prime 4, I know a lot of people don't think is anywhere close to ready, but it has to be somewhere close-ish. They can't push it off too much longer. Uh, they could.
I don't know. It could be 6 years. I mean, Breath of the Wild was a 6-year project,
Yeah.
at least, if I remember correctly. So,
Yeah.
and don't I would not be I would not be surprised if this E3 was a lot of DLC. Animal Crossing DLC announced.
Okay.
Uh, I don't think Mario Party got online for no reason. I think there's DLC coming for that game, you know. And
I hope there's DLC coming
who
or a
knows?
sequel because 4 boards in a Mario Party game that has online. It's a travesty. It's a travesty what they've done to that game.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's sold like crazy and they know that. So it's like they're like, "Yeah, let's sell." I mean, look, they've sold us what, 2 fighter packs for the same price as the original Smash game? We're talking like 6 like 12 characters or something for the same price as the original game. Like they know we will buy DLC. So they need they need to capitalize on that. And Animal Crossing could be completely revived
Yeah.
if they gave us a city island that had all the characters that are missing. They expand our islands something because it's gonna be a little bit tricky at this point because it's like a lot of people have their islands done and then all of a sudden, oh hey, let's move in, for what's happening on Harv's Island. That needs to be expanded upon. Why can we go to Harv's Island and send items like back to our island, but there's not even anything there, but we can't do that? Like some weird stuff, right? Like, there's some weird stuff. And so Animal Crossing being as huge as it was, of course they're going to sell DLC. They have to. They have to. This is a solo stuff that says not take 5 minutes to fly. Yeah. Yeah. That
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 would
would
be
be great as
nice.
well. Some
Some
huge quality of life improvements, you know.
My thing is like they have that dock.
Multi-craft.
They have the dock that you can fish off of. I don't think that's just for fishing. I was like, this has to be like planned DLC. You're gonna take a boat from here to go to
Hmm.
some like neighboring island or something. Maybe I know. the 3DS version had like a multiplayer island that you could go to and play games.
Yep.
Like bring that back with the dock space. Uh, I
Yeah.
think
Tortimer, you know?
there's totally room for that. I just am a little unconvinced it's ready quite yet. I I kind of think that Animal Crossing was not planned to be as big of a hit as it was.
No. They wanted to sell 10. They were hoping to make like 10 or 13 million units, and they well surpassed it,
Yeah.
right? I don't know that it'll necessarily be like, oh, and it's out now, but I have a feeling they're gonna be like, pre-order the season pass for Animal Crossing and get this Nook shirt, right? And then when it drops, and that's gonna allow them to gauge how, but I mean, people are gonna buy it. Like they're gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy 6 different season passes for everybody that plays that game in my house, like it's
You're gonna be paying like
it,
$300 for season passes for Animal Crossing,
yeah,
man.
I will be. Yeah, there's no question there. And so I I really think that this is going to be the year of DLC because they're going to show us Smash Fighters, right? And I truly believe that Mario Party is getting a DLC update. Why did they just like randomly drop online for that game if they weren't planning to support it some more? They should have just let it die and and put out a new game. But I think they're realizing that there's so much money to be made in DLC, in season passes, and eventually they're going to see that if there's the money in cosmetics as well, which they're kind of doing with Smash, giving us like the different me characters, right? So
Right.
it, it's I'm not going to be surprised at all if we see a lot of DLC this E3.
Well, let's do round robin. One more. What is your like wild card dream announcement for E3? I'll start. I am still really hoping for a Wii Sports game, a Wii Sports sequel of some kind. Uh, Wii Sports World. That's my wild card. I really would love to see that on the Switch using the Joy Cons to play tennis or bowling. Oh, bowling! I just want bowling, man. I just want Wii bowling back. Micah, you got one?
Well, besides my obvious Metroid Prime, I'm gonna go with a Golden Sun 4, actually.
All right.
Oh man, these games were my jam back in the day.
Would love to see that series revived.
Yeah, the third one was a little disappointing. I'm not quite sure if it just wasn't as good or if maybe I just hyped myself up too much after
Is
how
Golden
long it took.
is Golden Sun like first party developed? I can't recall if they were first party or just like a partner with Nintendo.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It was with Camelot. I'm
Okay,
not
okay, so
quite
like
sure.
basically first party. That would be really cool because Nintendo doesn't really have their own like RPG. I can't think like a turn-based RPG game. They really hyped up Bravely Default too, but that's not Nintendo first party. Who does Bravely Default? Gosh,
Square,
I'm not a huge RPG guy, so
Square Enix did
oh, Square
Bravely
Square.
Default,
Okay, yes,
and
yeah.
we're gonna see, and we're probably gonna see the Project Triangle Strategy or whatever it's called. Like we'll probably see more of
Oh
that.
yeah, some Project Triangle Strategy. Yeah, yeah, forgot about that one.
Also,
All right.
like Neo Prime
I don't
just
even.
said, "Yeah, I'm hoping for some Nintendo Land Switch."
Yeah.
I don't know how they would do it. I don't know how, but I would love it. Josh, what's your what? Give us a wild card hope prediction for E3.
Well, I mean, I said it earlier, but Mario Kart 9 is really. I mean, I've built my TikTok around Mario Kart, and so if there was a Mario Kart 9, it'd be huge for me and my brand. And just because it's my most played game on the Switch, so I would absolutely love it. But since I already said that one, how about Bowser's Fury was a proof of concept, and there's actually a full game in the works that's going to get announced at E3 this year.
Yeah, and it's Bowser Fury style.
Yes.
All right, all right. That is a good prediction. That would be super awesome. Oh man, I am so hyped for this coming Tuesday, and just so hyped for E3 in general. Can't wait. But that about wraps up our show here. So thanks so much for coming on and shooting your predictions with us, Josh. One last time, you want to give a plug to your stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm N64 Josh everywhere. I host the Nintendo Powercast, the Xbox Now podcast. We have the Press Pause podcast, which is on pause right now, till July. Smash Bros. Cast, Animal Crossing podcast, the Warzone show. Well, I could keep going. I don't know. That's enough. Yeah, and everything's N64 Josh, like I said. XboxNow.tv is the new website that I'm working on. And yeah, so a lot of fun stuff happening.
Yes. Josh is and he also has a Discord which is open to all to join. So definitely check out. We have met some really awesome people through his communities and got to be on his show. I don't remember what episode, but just look up the Nintendo Pals with Nintendo Powercast. We had a blast trying to convert each other to Monster Hunter and Pokemon Snap, which didn't work on either case.
At all.
I don't think either side bought the other game.
And I was so convinced you were gonna get Pokemon Snap.
I was too. I
talked up so
thought,
much.
and I was pretty
If-
on the fence on
If it
Monster
had
Hunter.
come out the next day, I would have probably got it. But by the time it came out, I was always like, I don't know.
If you would like to follow us on any social media platforms, we are on Twitter at Nintendo Pals and on Instagram and TikTok at Nintendo Pals Podcast. You can also follow us on Twitch, where we are newly Twitch affiliates. So hop over there, give us a follow, and if you would like, give us a sub. We are doing our podcast every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and we also throw in some gaming into the mix of streaming. And we're having a blast over here. It is super fun. Thanks to everybody that has been showing up for our live streams and being super active in the chat. You guys are awesome. And yeah, that about does it. So, Josh, you want to give us a send-off?
Absolutely, I do. So, I've written a book called Another Castle. And the theme of that book is enjoying the journey. Because sometimes in life, we think we're about to complete the goal, save the princess. We realize that she's in another castle. And that's okay, because that means we get to keep going. We get to enjoy the journey. And there's your send-off. Thanks again for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on, Josh. It's been awesome. Good night, everybody. Bye.